everyone, Ginger Garner here again for the next pose of the week. We're going to be working on revolved triangle today. You want revolved triangle to be effective, but also safe. And there are some simple ways to do that. I'm going to show you how. Always start in mountain, then move to chair, and in revolved triangle, you're going to step into a warrior one pose first. Remember that your mountain pose is feet apart, not feet together. Please refer to my other posts on hip lock. If you have not watched that before, that will help you. So look up the locks, okay, which is in the in my blog. You can also do a quick search on Google if you like. So mountain, lift through the inner arches, ground the front of the heel. As you move into chair, remember we're moving backwards into chair for our purposes here, although moving forward into chair can be used for different things. We're going to take a warrior one lunge back. Try not to step on her tail. All right, she's off in the corner doing her downward dog on her own yoga mat. You'll notice warrior one lunge is shorter. Okay, it's not a big lunge. I feel like I'm on a little bit of a back bend here. So I'm going to bend my back knee and kind of gas pedal that back leg and make sure that I'm staying out of a back bend. That creates length through the hip flexor on this side. After we do that, we're going to fold, ground that back heel and fold and come back up. Keep your hands on your pelvis because it lets you know that your pelvis is facing forward. You're not doing this. We're doing this. So it does require that you master warrior one first before you do this pose. I'm doing this to heat up my legs and hamstrings because this is an early morning video that I'm doing for you. So I'm just kicking off my day. I'm going to fold forward, up and down until I get a really nice sense that my legs are warmed up and ready for this pose. This is really great for kicking in your core, working the muscles in the lower back, the paraspinals, your transversus, little pelvic floor action. When I get to a point where I feel like I have enough length, and when I look down, I'm not doing this, okay, I'm doing this, then I'm going to bend my knees to show you what a modified pose looks like. I would use a chair, okay? I would use a chair here, but when you're more advanced, you can put the hand on the upper leg, use an arm spiral, if you will. That's written about in my book. You'll notice that if I was going to do this, I don't have enough upper back rotation yet. So I need to stop and just leave the hand on the waist and go here. I can just work this position. What we're focusing on is building a lot of power in the legs and core strength and balance. And we're isolating upper mid-back rotation, that ability to check your blind spot, okay? Once I warm up a little bit, I may be able to go down. I do put the hand on the outside of the foot, but you can feel free to put it on a block or on the leg or on a block on the outside of the foot. I am going to look down and make sure the pelvis is still square. Please bend your knees if you have any kind of hip impingement, okay? And then you're just isolating upper back rotation at this point. I often put my hand on my sacrum to make sure that it's level and it's not like this. Okay, that creates hip impingement, so don't do that. All right. So with the sacrum nice and neutral, I can rotate. And then the last would be to look up at the hand if you want. I do come out of this mechanically. I derotate. I kick in my hip lock, right? Popping those muscles into my hands back here. I feel that the core is nice and happy and kicked in, and then I come up. I get a lot of work in the deep muscles of the glutes here. To stabilize the hip, this is a beautiful pose, an excellent pose for building strength. and stability, particularly if you are a woman that has joint hypermobility. And a lot of women naturally gravitate towards yoga because they're already mobile. Yoga becomes more difficult for us, right? I tend to be on that hypermobile side too. So stability is key. Give your spine priority, not the extremities. If I build stability here and strength and power here, then that will have a ripple effect, and then I can go on to focus on strength in the extremities. But if I'm trying to build bicep, tricep strength without strength here, it's not going to work. So coming to the other side, mountain feet apart, bent knees, warrior one lunge, take it out of a back bend, gas pedal, create length through the hip flexor. And if you're wondering what type of breath I'm using something called TATD breath. You can Google that. All right, once I'm satisfied that I have a neutral spine here, I'm facing forward, I'm getting a lot of length through the Achilles in the back. I do my folds. You can always fold with bent knees, okay? You can fold like this. This will just create more load through the hamstring. Once the legs are nice and heated, and I'm ready to rotate, hand comes down, I look down again, make sure the pelvis is neutral, hand on the sacrum to make sure it's not in a funky rotation. I don't have a lot of patients that I work with SI joint issues that are women. So I don't want to create an SI joint issue. That's why I keep my hand here. And I'm free to do upper back rotation, which keeps me nice and mobile, keeps the shoulder really nice and mobile and functional. Then I can add my head rotation, which really challenges your balance, right? Folding it down, kicking in the locks, bend your knees if you need to, so that you can get the spine in a neutral place. So come back up, step it together. Those are kind of the nuts and bolts of Revolved Triangle. Of course, there are many more layers to this of complexity, but this just gives you a head start on how to safely and effectively use Revolved Triangle. Have a great day.